Have you ever wondered, if the Great Flood truly happened, then where is Noah's Ark today? Is it resting high upon Mount Ararat, or is it all nothing more than a legend, passed down through the ages? And if evidence does exist, why has humanity argued? For centuries, documents, hidden away for decades, have now surfaced, revealing a truth almost too incredible to believe. And if you've ever asked yourself these same questions, then come with me as we step into a journey of discovery. Imagine this. The rain never stops. The waters keep rising, swallowing everything in their path. And in the midst of that chaos, a vessel appears, carrying the last hope of mankind. Noah, the righteous man, standing firm in a fallen world. The animals, entering the ark, 2 by 2. The flood, overwhelming the earth. The rainbow, a covenant after the storm. One family, one Arkansas, one promise from God. This is not only a story from the Bible. It is found in the Quran, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and in many other cultures. From ancient Babylon to the native legends of the Americas. The whole world remembers a flood. And then, people began to search. Did they ever find anything? For centuries, the story of Noah has been told. Through paintings in old churches, through the lullabies of mothers, through the sermons on Sunday mornings. Each time we hear it, we feel, again, the power of faith in the midst of trial, the love of God, prevailing over every storm. But there is something that makes this story different. Why does it appear everywhere on Earth? Why do nations who never knew each other share the same memory? And most of all, could we uncover the evidence? And then, people began to search. In 1949, a pilot flew over Mount Ararat in Turkey. He saw a strange formation, about 150 meters long, with the shape of a great ship. Later, satellite images confirmed the same pattern. Expeditions climbed the mountain and brought back samples of wood, thousands of years old. Cypress wood, exactly as the Bible describes. Modern surveys even revealed separate chambers, hidden within. But there is another theory, no less fascinating. The Black Sea flood theory. Scientists discovered that nearly 7,000 years ago, the Black Sea was once a freshwater lake. And suddenly, the waters of the Mediterranean broke through with terrifying force. Entire communities along the shore vanished overnight. And in Mesopotamia, too, traces of ancient floods were found. So which theory do you lean toward? Ararat or the Black Sea? Share your thoughts with me. I'd love to know what you think. But there is one detail almost everyone overlooks. All of this evidence is still missing the most important point. Wait just a moment. Don't leave, because what comes next will reveal a very different perspective on the Ark. Because maybe the Ark is not resting on a mountain at all, but in a place far closer than you imagine. A place we can touch every single day. What if the Ark was never meant to rest upon a mountain, but to live within the story of salvation itself? For 2,000 years, the Catholic Church has seen what mountain expeditions may have overlooked. Noah is the image of the righteous man. A man who walked with God in the midst of a corrupt generation. So then, what does the Ark truly represent? The Ark was not only a vessel to escape the waters, it is the image of the Church, a place of refuge in the storms of the world. Just as the Ark sheltered Noah and his family, so the church shelters the faithful from spiritual danger. The flood itself is the figure of baptism. As the waters of the flood washed away a sinful world, baptism washes away original sin. St. Peter wrote, "That water was a symbol of baptism, which now saves you." The rainbow was the sign of a covenant. God promised never again to destroy the world with water, but deeper still. It was a promise of mercy, triumphing over judgment. The ark did not carry animals alone. It carried a promise. A promise that even if the world sank into sin, God would still preserve a vessel of redemption, and that ark still sails upon the sea of life. When you feel as though you are sinking beneath the struggles of life, remember this: the ark is still there. Perhaps it is the parish community, welcoming you every Sunday. Perhaps it is the waters of baptism that cleansed you and gave you a new beginning. Perhaps it is prayer itself, lifting you up through every storm. And yet, many still ask, could every kind of animal really fit upon a single ark? Did the flood truly cover the entire world? These questions are not mere curiosities. They may hold the key to a deeper understanding of faith. And in the next part, we will step into a perspective you may never have imagined. Was it truly possible for every species to live upon a single ark? Was the flood really global, covering the entire Earth? Let's pause and do a little calculation. The Ark of Noah was 150 meters long, 25 meters wide, and 15 meters high. That is about 3 football fields in length. And with more than 8 million species of animals on Earth today, plus the food, the water, the space required for many months. Mathematically, it seems difficult. Animals from across the world, kangaroos from Australia, pandas from China, penguins from Antarctica, and after the flood, how would they return to their native lands? So, what do you think? Do you lean toward the ark holding every creature in reality? Or do you see it as a symbol? Share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you believe. Geologists have not found evidence of a single worldwide flood at the same moment in history. Sediment layers, fossils, do not point to such a catastrophe. And yet, instead of looking only at the numbers, perhaps we should look at the meaning. Maybe the question is not, did it literally happen? But rather, what does it mean? Theologians across the centuries have offered many interpretations. Some suggest that the whole world might mean the whole world as Noah knew it. In Scripture, the language is often symbolic, poetic. Just as when Jesus said, "I am the door," he did not mean a door of wood. Or perhaps, God worked a special miracle, as when he multiplied the loaves and fishes, or parted the Red Sea. The important thing is not to solve every technical detail, but to grasp the message that God wished to give. That he loves those who walk in righteousness. That he has a plan of salvation, even in the midst of the greatest trial. And that, after every storm, there is always a new hope. But here is something worth pondering. We are not the only ones asking these questions. From China to India, from Babylon to Greece, everywhere, there is a memory of a flood. And if the memory of the flood appears across the world, then perhaps it is pointing us to something greater, something deeper than we have ever imagined. If this memory of the flood is found in every culture, then maybe this is not just a religious tale, but a universal symbol of humanity itself. From China to Greece, from India to the tribes of the Americas, everywhere, There is a story of a great flood. In ancient China, they told of Yu the Great, the hero who tamed the waters and saved the people. In the sacred writings of India, Manu was warned by the god Vishnu to build a vessel and preserve life. The Epic of Gilgamesh from Babylon, written 1,000 years before the Bible, also tells of a great ship rescuing the righteous. And in Greece, only Deucalion and his wife survived after the flood sent by Zeus. Lands separated by thousands of miles, cultures with no contact at all, and yet the same memory remains. The world, once swallowed by water. So is this only coincidence? Or does humanity itself carry a memory of some great event? Was it a climate disaster? A rising of the seas after the Ice Age? Or perhaps a sacred imprint left by God himself upon the human heart? Though the stories differ in detail, the message is the same. The righteous are saved, the wicked are judged, and after every storm, there is a new beginning. Perhaps this is the true Ark of Noah, not resting upon a distant mountain, but living within the shared memory of all humankind. If hundreds of cultures tell of a flood, then maybe what we seek is not buried in history, but written deep within the human heart. Maybe you do not believe in a ship upon Mount Ararat, but perhaps you are in the middle of a flood of your own. Maybe it is the flood of worry over your health, those sleepless nights, wondering if your body is still strong enough. Maybe it is the flood of grief after a loved one has passed, that feeling as if part of you sank into the grave with them. Maybe it is the flood of loneliness, when your children are busy with their own lives and the house feels too quiet. Or the flood of worry for your children and grandchildren. In a world today full of new challenges, and in those floods, what keeps you from sinking? The question is not, was the Ark real? The question is, what is holding you today? Perhaps your Ark is your parish community, the friends in your prayer group, or your ministry team, those familiar faces every Sunday at Mass. Perhaps your Ark is your family who stand beside you, the laughter of grandchildren sweeping away sorrow, the hands of your children holding yours tightly. Perhaps the Ark is prayer itself, the evening rosary, a safety line in the storm, the Lord's Prayer, whispered each morning at dawn. Sometimes the Ark is Sunday Mass, the place where we meet Christ in the Eucharist and feel again the love that never changes. Noah did not need to understand every detail of God's plan. He only needed to trust, one day at a time, building the Ark, one plank at a time. So you too do not need to see the whole future. You only need to walk with God today, to believe that no matter how great the storm, God is still holding an Ark for you. Today, I want to invite you to reflect deeply. In the flood you are facing now, what is your Ark? What is it that keeps you from sinking? Who are the ones rowing beside you? And most of all, do you believe this storm will pass? And if you wish, share your story. For perhaps your story itself will become the Ark for someone else. What do you think the Ark of Noah is most like? A refuge, a real ship in real history, a place where God worked a miracle, saving Noah and his family, a concrete sign of his power and his mercy. B, a symbol, the image of the church and the journey of faith, the place where we find salvation through Christ. Baptism, the Eucharist, all of these are the Ark in the storms of life. CA, collective memory, the shared story of all humanity, of hope in the midst of trial, of love triumphing over every storm. A profound truth, retold across many cultures. Comment below. I would love to know which one you choose. But more than choosing A, B, or C, I want to hear your story. What floods have you faced in your life? And what was the ark that carried you through? Perhaps it was the prayer of a mother in years of hardship. Perhaps it was your parish community lifting you up in trial. Or maybe it was a friend who listened and who shared your burden. Share your story to encourage the community. For in the family of faith, we learn from one another. Every personal story is a gift to all. And your story could become the ark for someone else. In this world of many storms, we need each other's witness. Like, if this message has touched your heart, subscribe to Journey Together in the next steps of faith, and share this with someone who may need to hear it. For maybe, right now, they're in the middle of a flood and need to know there is still an ark waiting. May God bless you and your family. And in every storm of life, may He always be your ark.